Hey YouTube, welcome to my channel. This is my second video, just back to back if you saw the first one about the Razer Naga mouse. If not, here's a review about the Corsair Scimitar RGB Elite MMO mouse. I touched on it from the Razer Naga video, but I guess I should probably reiterate some stuff. Just kind of a casual here. I've had a Naga mouse for like 5 years, decided to try out a new MMO mouse, which is the Corsair Scimitar. Why'd I choose Corsair? The only other option is really like a Logitech, and I already have a Corsair keyboard that I like, and Corsair mouse pad, and honestly, Corsair is a great company too. But anyways, so this is gonna be a review of that, or of this mouse. So I've had it for just over 2 weeks. Used it for about 2 weeks now. I feel like that's enough time to get a feel for the mouse. And decide and just kind of give you a review on it. And then there also is going to be it's technically a third video, but it's going to be a video talking about the differences between this mouse and the Razer Naga, and which mouse I'm going to recommend. So I've already opened up the mouse and stuff, of course. I'm gonna, just for, here's their page for it. It's like an $80 mouse if you get it from the Corsair website. Got, the RGB colors. It's got this, sliding panel component to it, which that was one of the main reasons why I actually was interested in this mouse. Here's what the mouse looks like up close. I did this for the Naga mouse, so I figured I'd do it for this one too. But yeah, so if you're watching this video, I'm gonna assume it's probably because you're interested in an MMO mouse. Just for starters, if you don't have an MMO mouse, I think you should just get one. They are well worth it. They are way better than a regular mouse. They make playing MMOs like World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, especially Final Fantasy 14, Guild Wars 2, even, MOBAs like League of Legends, Dota 2, Heroes of the Storm, if you even played that one. It just makes playing those games way more fun, in my opinion. Having the extra buttons on the side of the mouse, I think it feels incredibly natural while playing games, especially games like, League of Legends, where you're right clicking, or even StarCraft, and just assigning your hotkeys to these. Super, I think it'll make you a better gamer. I think Corsair just has the coolest logo, by the way. I love the little ship sails. Um, let's get into the mouse though. So it's got the mouse pad here, the 12 buttons that, relate to the keyboard or whatever buttons you configure it to in the software. It does have this texture here, as you can kind of see. These ones are smooth, these ones are rougher. This helps you find your place whenever you're just kind of getting used to the mouse. And it really does work. It helps you find your placement without an issue at all. Even if you can see it, the little bar that it has to center for the 5. Very useful. Big fan. It's got some buttons here that you're able to configure as well. I'll talk a little bit more about these buttons once I bring it back over to the desktop view. And then it's got a mouse wheel that you're able to click. So it's got 17 buttons, essentially. I did see from someone else's video or his review or something that eventually this little padding here will rub away. That's to be expected. Let's be real. All right, this stuff will probably last maybe a year or two, maybe 3, but it's going away, especially if you use your mouse all the time. One of the big features of this mouse, one of the main reasons I was interested in it, is the fact that you can move the number pad, right? So you just basically set your hand on it, you find the spot that's comfortable for you, and then you just kind of tighten it with this nifty little screwdriver they give you. And then you're good to go. And then now, it should be a bit more comfortable for you. So yeah, that's a nice little thing. I did find in my experience, actually I'll talk about it in my differences video. But yeah, it's got that. Very cool. It's like a patent of theirs. Good for them. I think they did a good job with it. Seems high quality. Got no issues. Little mouse wheel. It's very tactile. It's got the little like clicks, so you can sense whenever it's making the change. No issues there. You can see I've got my RGB settings set up. You know, I've got like a bit of a breathing effect. Matches with my keyboard, very similar to what I had for the Naga mouse. The lights, you got a light over here that you can change. You got the mouse wheel, and then you've got the number pad, and you've got this Corsair symbol. I guess I'm not showing it, but right here, I guess I'll try and show it in the settings. There is another light here. They did something cool with it. Basically, this mouse, whenever you first plug it in, it's got these default stages. Let me actually pull up the software. I guess something I didn't mention, if you get any of these MMO mice, there's going to be software that goes with it that should be expected, I'm sure, by now, especially if you're a gamer. That's common. This is what the Corsair software looks like. It's been updated. There's my keyboard. Here's the mouse. In my opinion, it's pretty damn easy to use. You know, it shows all the different things you got. This is where you set like what the number keys do and all that stuff. I do feel that Corsair, there's a bit more work I had to do up front to set these buttons. Like I think I had to set them all myself. It didn't default to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like I wanted. But you know, is what it is. Here's the hardware side. I'll talk about that in a sec, but that's a huge plus. You know, you got your performance, you know, with how fast you I don't know, there's a bunch of settings here. You know, not everyone's gonna really jump into this stuff, but it's useful. In my Razer video, I talked about, you know, some of the quirks that I have with that product. Corsair, I do like their software. I think it's great. But to jump on it, you know, they've got their software. The updates are not common at all. That's something that's nice about Corsair is, you know, you plug in the mouse, it updates once, and for the most part, it works. It's very rare that you need an update for the keyboard or for the mouse, at least in my experience. Something about the Corsair mouse, and it does apply to the keyboard as well. You kind of have, but more so for the mouse. You have two settings. You have hardware settings, and then you have software settings. Those are my terms, but I think the internet, you know, people on the internet use those terms as well. And basically what that means is if this software is not running, it's going to be running the hardware settings. So something that's very nice about Corsair, very nice. I love this about their software. Razer could learn from them. But you can set what your hardware settings are, and that includes the lighting, right? So this lighting effect, just to show an example, I have this set and this breathing effect to the hardware chip inside. So whenever, just to give an example, if I lock my computer, it keeps this. If I restart my computer, if I plug it into a completely different computer that doesn't have, you know, the Corsair software, that's what the mouse is going to look like. It holds on to these settings, and it's not just the colors, right? It's the buttons as well. But yeah, if you save these hardware settings, right? If you want it to actually save, though, you need to click on Onboard Profiles, and then click one of these. There's 3 slots, and you just choose Overwrite. So I just basically do that anytime I make a change. And then, for the most part, I'm good. But yeah, those are just some small little tips. This isn't like a full, like, how do you customize all this stuff? I don't really do it too much, so I don't feel the need to. Let me see. So that's the hardware settings. But something to note, I guess, whenever you just have the default settings, so these buttons right here, there's something to be aware of. Whenever you're changing your hardware settings, hardware specific, this very top button, you cannot change that button. So just to give an example, I go to the hardware actions and I show the. So if you look at this view, there's a left click that's just completely grayed out, and there's a profile switch button that's grayed out, which that is this top button right here. So for hardware settings, and maybe this will matter for you, say you want to like turn on your computer and you don't want the Corsair software to run at all. Or you're taking it to a friend's house and they don't have the software. You know, you're just setting this mouse up. You know, that's it. That's a huge perk of it. I guess the small downside is the left click and the profile switch. You can't change those settings for hardware. You can change everything else though. You can save the colors, you know, for the RGB settings. You can change whatever you change these other, you know, buttons to, but not the first one. And the reason for that has to do with their your profile. So that is dedicated to the profile switching, which is these right here. So you can press that button, this, top button, and just change between your profiles. Useful if, you're like some pro gamer or you like changing your sensitivity whenever you're playing, a first person shooter like COD 1 second, or maybe Counter Strike, and then you're jumping over to League of Legends, and then maybe WoW, and you just want to have different sensitivity settings or whatever. The second button is like the DPI toggle, and basically that ties into this. So not only can you switch between your profiles, and maybe you want different colors, right? You just click the button and now you have different colors. There's lots of things you can do, but it lets you swap between your DPI profile, which has to do with your sensitivity. And then I didn't show it, but this little light, I'll switch to the other camera real quick. But there's a little light right here, which I have it blanked out. I guess I'll turn it on real quick. Okay, see, there's a light now. See, it's white. So it's honestly a really cool feature by Corsair. Kudos to them. Basically, whenever you press that DPI toggle button, it'll basically just change you or push you through these different sensitivity stages, and you can connect a light to the stage. So you can just like at a glance, you'll look and you're like, oh, it's my yellow light. So that means I'm in my, I guess, sniper mode, right? And you got super low sensitivity. I without a doubt, I believe that there is a gamer that is going to be great for. There just is. Not for me, but hey, if you like that kind of thing, I think it's solid and I think it's very cool. For the software side, you are able to change what that top mouse button does, though, just so you know. So if you don't want to have the profile switch at all and you want to change this to like, mouse button 4, you can. You just click it. Yeah, you click it and then you just choose what button you want it to be, which would essentially be like, maybe the scroll up button. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm dumb. So there you go. I'm pressing it now. It's scrolling up and down, and it's not changing the profile. Okay, their software not perfect, right? It is a little confusing at first. I don't deny. Um, Basically, you have to add something here, then you change this to like what you want. So here's the remap side. Here's the macro that I have. I'm setting the button that I want, and then here's the effect that I want. So let me delete that one. And let me just move that back down. And I accidentally deleted what my 12 key does. That doesn't matter right now. I can mess with that later. Here's mouse button 2. Connecting it to this button. You could also click it there and then boom, scroll up. Yeah, you just have to pay attention to here, and that lets you know what button. And then essentially, whenever you click on this, it's telling you what button you have assigned and what you want it to equal. So yeah, it's a little bit odd, but once you get it all figured out, it works well. And if you have any questions, I may not have the answer right away, but I can help you figure it out. I guess I do try and stream on Twitch between like 6 and 10. Lava Team, that's the name. You could look at the links down below in the description if you want to find me. Basically, I'm just there playing games, but I'm there for people who have questions, I guess. I hope to put out more random types of videos on anyone who's interested in asking anything about them or whatnot. I'll just be there for it. Or you can, post a comment or whatever. There's Discord. I don't really use Discord, but, maybe that'll change in the future. But anyways, that's how it works. You got the software side. Basically, if you want your software settings to work, though, you gotta have the software up and going. Video getting a little long, longer than intended. For the most part, that's basically it, though. Here's their website. I do, I thought I already had one open for it. I am gonna put a link, to this mouse on Amazon, or, cause I'm trying to be like an Amazon affiliate. Trying to make a career out of this and hopefully make some money. But this is the mouse. It's like 72 bucks. I will put a link down in the description. If you wanted to maybe get this mouse, you can click on that link, and I do get some sort of kickback, I think. I think it's like a percent or something. I don't really know. Never done it before, but do want to admit that. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good mouse. I think there are no issues. Again, if you don't have an MMO mouse, whichever one you get, I think there's a Logitech one too. Let me just duplicate this actually. That gets talked about. Honestly, you're probably going to be fine with it as well. Yeah, I think it's this one. As you can tell, it's cheaper. Okay, I mean Logitech. If you got a budget, you're probably going to be better off getting this one, right? I feel like they had like an extra button. Yeah, I think you can actually click. Like there's a third click right here, and some people don't like that, I guess. So they actually just turn it off because they accidentally click it. But it does give them a bump up. Like Razer, they've got 19 buttons. Because the scroll wheel, you can click it left and right. Corsair, you can't click left and right, so they got 17 buttons. And then Logitech, well, they one-upped everyone because they got 20 buttons. And it's this, like, side button that you can click with the fan. If you got, like, a Corsair, keyboard, a Corsair, like, chair, just you're a Corsair fan, you're probably going to want to consider getting the Corsair mouse, right? If you already got Razer stuff, you're probably going to want to consider getting the Razer mouse. If you're just trying to find what's good for you, I am going to be putting a differences video up here soon, and it's going to talk about what I like and dislike about each and, which one I'm committing to, basically. Um, but yeah, so no, that's it. Hopefully you like this video. Hopefully it's helpful for you. This is my first go at it. What you're watching, this is a first attempt, so it's probably a little bit longer than it should. But, as weeks and months go by, I'm sure I'll get better at, creating content and stuff. And, if you don't mind this, um, cool. Awesome. Yeah, leave comments if you got questions. Overall, I would recommend this mouse. I think it feels good in the hand. It feels good, moving around the mouse pad. Changing the sensitivity is good. The buttons feel nice. The colors are good. I'm a fan of the software. It is a little confusing at first. But you use it, at least for me, I use it so little that it takes me, 5-10 minutes to figure it out real quick, get my settings good, and then possibly never mess with them again. Highly would recommend. It's a good mouse. If you don't have an MMO mouse and you play video games on a computer a lot, just get one. I don't know anyone who regrets it. Like, you don't have to use all the buttons. Okay, you don't need them for all the games. But yeah, so that's it. Hope you have a nice rest of your day, and I'm gonna start recording my differences video here in a sec. So, anyways, bye.